Joining us now is great patriot Brett Galashevsky, vice chair of the Republican Party Milwaukee, but more important, Turning Point Action National Enterprise Director. Brett, welcome to the program. Everyone check out tpaction.com/100. Brett, educate our audience of what the significance, what's happening in Wisconsin.
Hey, Charlie, great to be on here again. Really appreciate you having me. Glad that I get to talk about this mission critical opportunity that we have on our hands here in Wisconsin. You know, it was almost 2 years ago to the day that I sat on this show and I talked about how Wisconsin was desperately hanging on to a 4-3 conservative majority of our Supreme Court, and that losing control of our court could have detrimental effects going forward. We ultimately lost that race in 2023, and we lost that conservative common sense control, and we saw a domino effect of things spiral out of control from there. The court immediately redrew the legislative maps, which lost us 10 assembly seats, 4 state Senate seats. They reversed Act 10, which was a big collective bargaining win of the Scott Walker Republican governor administration some 15 years ago, thought that that would never get walked back. And then the court ultimately reinstated drop boxes. So you saw huge national implications out of little old Wisconsin these last 2 years out of losing our conservative majority on the court. But we have another opportunity on our hands to retake the court back on April 1st. A conservative named Brad Schimmel is running in our Wisconsin Supreme Court race, and we have a unique opportunity on our hands to retake our state.
So yeah, let's go through this. So the significance could result in more congressional seats, voting practices. I mean, this is the balance of the Wisconsin Supreme Court. When is the election again?
So the election is April 1st. So it's coming up really quickly here, some 5 or 6 weeks from now. And the scary part is that we've only scratched the surface of what a liberal Supreme Court could do here in Wisconsin. Adding a liberal reinforcement on this court could open the door even wider to what the left has made very clear that they want to do in Wisconsin, and that is ultimately scrap voter ID laws. This is a 10-year term on the line. We won't have another shot at gaining a conservative seat again in Wisconsin until 2029. That's the next time that someone's term is up. You saw what states that didn't have voter ID were doing in 2024. They were still counting votes like yesterday. So we cannot afford to have voter ID taken away in a top 3 swing state, because this could potentially remove Wisconsin from the electoral map in 2028, meaning that J.D. Vance or whoever it is that's running as the Republican nominee for president in 2028 may not have a path to victory with Wisconsin out of play. This would force us to pick up a state like New Hampshire, Virginia, New Mexico. And I'm not saying that that's attainable. I'm saying that that makes our path a little bit more uphill. It's the left's dream. It's locking down one of the blue wall states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. And we saw what kind of impact Wisconsin had on our ability to get 270 on election night in this past fall.
So Brett, talk about how we are announcing Commit 100 and what that is going to do at Turning Point Action to hopefully help make a difference here.
Well, so this is a turnout election like we've ever seen before. In 2022, turnout was a little over 36% statewide. So a little over 1 in 3 people actually voted in the last election. We for sure need to see turnout get on the other side of 40%. Our data alone identifies a little over 57,000 conservatives in Milwaukee County alone that are slated to sit this one out. Conservative voters that are slated to sit this one out unless we go out and chase those votes between now and April 1st. So our Commit 100 program is going to be launching in Wisconsin. It's designed for people who see what's going on in Wisconsin or watch shows like this and want to get involved in some way or another. It's designed for people to own their own neighborhoods here in Wisconsin, for people in other states, if you're listening in a state like Illinois, like Alabama, all over the country, who are hearing about this race having national implications on 2028 and want to directly help in that effort. So when somebody signs up on tpaction.com/100, which I see we have on the bottom of the screen, that's great. You are assigned a list of 100 conservative voters, what we call low propensity or disengaged conservatives, likely conservatives that will not turn out in the spring off-year election unless we're chasing them. And you can go knock on those doors and essentially hyper-target your efforts down to those 100 people, essentially maximizing your reach with those people. If you're from out of state, this allows you to remotely make contact with those 100 voters in Wisconsin, give them a call, shoot them a text, write them a postcard, which you'll have the ability to do on our TP Action app, which is wonderful if you haven't downloaded it yet already. And for those that want to take it to the next level and physically come to Wisconsin and chase those votes in person, We'll put you in a hotel for as long as you want to be here so you can go and chase ballots with us. This worked like a well-oiled machine in 2024. It really put the finishing touches on our effort to get President Trump across the finish line here in Wisconsin. We had literal hundreds of people come from out of state, states like Illinois, where an hour of conservative activism isn't nearly going to have the impact that an hour of conservative activism in Wisconsin will have. We'll train you, we'll put you in a nice hotel, and we'll help you chase your 100 votes. tpaction.com/100. It's an all hands on deck effort from
Great
all
work,
four
Brett.
corners.
Everyone, check out that website, tpaction.com/100. Brett, we'll have you on again soon.